Putting yourself out there isn't the easiest thing in the world. Sometimes, even putting your camera on, just trying to get in front of the camera and make sure that you look nice, can just be such a hard labor process. And so, after 5 years of having my own YouTube channel and being able to basically help businesses and organizations grow on social media and thrive and tell their story, I have seen a few things that many people in my industry aren't talking about. And I think some of those things have to do with the criticism that you may face when you are sharing your thoughts online. You may also have to endure technical problems, technical difficulties. I've definitely had my fair share of technical difficulties on this platform, and it actually happened to me last week. So it's just some things are just unavoidable. And all of these things together, or whether they're happening over time, can be very discouraging as a content creator or as an entrepreneur that is just trying to use social media, which is a free tool to grow their businesses. And also, you may fall into something where people aren't really talking on your post. So you may create a video and you're trying to tell your story and you're trying to write it out. You're finally getting your thoughts down in a caption, and you go to post it and you're kind of holding your breath because you're like, are they actually going to respond? Are they going to say this? Or is my audience going to like this? And you might get 150 views, but no one said anything. So you may have missed the mark in terms of trying to start a conversation. So that's why when you go to make your captions, you want to try to start a conversation as much as possible, because a lot of things in life are more interesting when we talk about them or we can share something in common. And so you do want to try to resonate with people online as well. And so sometimes, even when you're going live, you're not going to get nearly as many viewers as in your audience. So, say you have 1,000 followers, 1,000 people are not going to be watching your live video. Sometimes you may only get 2 to 3 people, and that's actually most of the time, not even sometimes. Like, if you're blessed that day, you might get 20 people that are viewing your live video if it's an interesting topic. But it doesn't mean that you delete the post or you'd be like, well, that was a horrible post. Like, it shouldn't be up here. No, keep it up, especially if it's something that you're interested in, because you never know. Someone may come onto your video years later and they'd be like, wow, I really resonate with this. And I want to have a conversation, or I want to set up a call with you to learn more about what it is that you're doing. And so, if this is something that does discourage you in terms of like getting low views or hardly any interaction on your posts, you might be missing something. You may not be, but I do want to encourage you to get my free troubleshooting guide for social media, because it's going to help you basically be able to see what areas that you are missing and what you can do to be able to make your posts a lot better, because there's always room for improvement. And so that'll help you. The link is in the description of my video. I also have talked about having a backbone as a content creator as well, because sometimes people think, oh, I'm just going to put, a few posts up. I'm not going to show my face. And I want all my family members and all my friends to like my posts. And sometimes you really have to stand on your own 2 feet and talk about what it is that you're interested in and talk about your skill set as well. And so you want to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. And so if you want to listen more to that video, I also have that on my Instagram page. And so you can go to Instagram.com/underscore pretty Nikki, because I just did a video on that this week. So those are a couple of resources that I am able to give you to be able to basically boldly be a content creator. And so I want to take this time just to briefly talk about my story and my journey as a content creator, slash entrepreneur. And I'm just going to say right here, I think content creators are entrepreneurs as well, especially if you are consistently creating content and you're growing an audience. You are basically building up an audience where you're able to monetize, especially once YouTube starts paying you to be able to bring this content to your viewers. So you're an entrepreneur as well. But my story started with posting on social media for my church and basically sharing the story of the church, keeping the members updated on what was going on, even those that weren't members yet as well. And then I started doing it for another organization that does news. And then I also migrated to helping businesses, and that's where my sweet spot is, basically helping wellness entrepreneurs grow on social media. So that's people that are into plants, people that are just into healthy eating, healthy lifestyle, natural skincare, natural hair care, and that confidence that we all need in order to grow. And so I have a journalism background as well. And so I was able to really get into storytelling. That's my thing. I love connecting with people. And I just love showing people different things that they can do without necessarily leaving their home, but they can also be inspired to leave their house and go see the amazing things that the world has to offer. And so throughout that journey, it has been kind of rough, but it's also been a lot of sweet moments as well. Some days I don't want to create content at all. I was burning out. People come and criticize sometimes the things that I posted, and it just was a tough journey. And I had to learn how to navigate that and deal with that. And I think that's something that content creators, entrepreneurs, those with millions of dollars don't really talk about, is that you do get a lot of hate sometimes on your posts, and sometimes people will comment things on your posts that are completely irrelevant to what you're actually talking about, and you have to get over it, because at the end of the day, you're not trying to please everyone with your content. You're not trying to attract everyone with your content. And so you just kind of have to get into the space where I'm telling my truth, I'm sharing my story, and I'm going to do it the right way in order to help those. And I think something as well that might be hard when you are online, especially if you're in holiness and you are trying to, use the correct kind of music, sometimes it can be discouraging seeing someone post a similar idea to you and they're using like the top 10 music that is definitely worldly, and they are getting thousands and thousands of views, and then you try to use a spiritual song and your views kind of tank at 20. Now I will say I have used spiritual music that got me over 15,000 views on a post, so it is possible. I think it's just a way, and it just goes to show that you just have to get better at creating content that hooks your audience in and it starts a conversation. Otherwise, people are just going to be watching it and they're going to be scrolling by. So that's why it's important to focus on one kind of person when you're creating your content. So that way, when you are demonstrating your skill set and you're talking about the different things that you can do, you're showing them the experience that they can have with you, you're attracting a specific group where you can specialize in helping them specifically. Because even though I know social media marketing, I can't help every single niche, right? Because there are some niches out there that go against my beliefs, like wineries, for example. So certain things I can't do. So it's like I love working with those that are encouraging people to be healthy and encouraging people to just to live a better life, a more improved life. I'm always looking for self improvement for myself, and that is something that is the very core of my podcast, the Warrior Rulebook podcast. And so I definitely have seen different areas where I'm growing and I'm seeing others grow as well. So that's why I definitely want to work with wellness entrepreneurs, because I want to grow together. I don't want to just just be me teaching other people how to grow. I don't want to be just the smartest person in the room. Like, I want to learn from my clients as well. And I've been very fortunate to learn from them as well, just new perspectives and having, a healthy appearance, having a healthy internally as well, that is just something that has been an amazing thing for me. And so, some tips that you can do to keep the spark alive for those of you that have put yourself out there and you're feeling a little burned out: take a break. You don't have to be posting every single week. Now, if that's something that you want to do where you are batching your content and you have it scheduled to go out every week, that's one thing. And that's a good skill. I do encourage that. But if you're the type of person like me that likes to post in the moment, then sometimes you just have to take a break and it's okay. Make sure you take care of yourself as an entrepreneur, as a content creator. Make sure that you are eating healthy, that you are giving yourself a quality experience. I love creating gourmet meals for myself at home and putting on a nice white fancy plate. That's just something that I love to do. And you could just do different things that make you happy, and also try to travel and go different places and get that inspiration. Spend time with your loved ones, make time for them so that way you can grow healthy relationships. And other things that you can do is just practice when you have time. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to put out the most perfect content in the world. Just try to get your story out there first. And the more that you advance, the more that you might make some income to be able to get better equipment, then you can just keep using that to get better. Take some online courses, talk to some people that are doing well in the industry that you're in, and see how can you stand out while still learning from them, because standing out is something that is very important. So if you are looking for more social media tips, be sure to go to the link in my description. I have two links down there, and you can just binge my social media playlist where I have shared tips that have worked for me so far. But I'm really thankful that I'm still here 5 years later, creating my YouTube videos for people and just showing people my journey. Thanks for being here.